Greetings, welcome to Of Darkness and Light. My name is Daphne Garrido. I write as Ophelia Everfall, and wherever you are joining me, whether it is listening on a podcast or watching on my website, I welcome you and thank you for being here. I want to talk about the humanitarian organization that I really truly believe in, I think should exist from a place of far less executive dysfunction. I spoke with my daughter a couple days ago, and it helped a lot to see her face and to hear her speak. And I've gotten a donation, and so that has helped. But there's still a lot of stress about paying rent for me coming up here, and I don't really have the donations to ensure that's a thing, except for my one friend who tells me that they've got a couple $100 for me, but they're waiting for their paycheck, which comes late sometimes, and it's getting a little stressful. So I'm here, and I'm still talking about that situation because I'm actively needing donations to help get by. I'm working out a path towards getting free of my executive dysfunction. I'm going to turn off the hum. I've got hums in my place. I believe a schizophrenic person is first and foremost a traumatized person. And I believe that the way that schizophrenic people lash out and are demonized is a pit spiral that drives people into societally enforced madness that is beyond them, that is torturous, that locks them inside and makes them sad and depressed, and to lash out with addictive tendencies. And I have known at least one other person who was like this. And I have seen their insides. I've seen their heart. And they're the most beautiful heart beneath the terrifying outer edges. It's just somebody who I loved, who I didn't really get to know because they were not themselves. And they lashed out at me in the ways that I lash out at others, but I couldn't help but always immediately forgive them because I could see it in them, and their reflection has helped me understand what's going on with me now, which is that I have executive dysfunction from schizophrenia that causes me to be locked inside, being a terror to others, not anymore, and being a terror to myself because nobody is helping me, but I have helped myself, and that has made me embittered still, and arrogant, and ingenious, and proud to admit that. And I understand how schizophrenic people can heal without medicine, and I understand a theory of mine that I believe could be applied to create wisdom from the healing lessons of schizophrenics to then apply outwards societally, because the lessons of the body that a schizophrenic has to learn to become coalesced into a singular voice of non-delusional infighting is someone who those are truths that are apparent for large amounts of people. So we have wisdoms inside our body, and to become a coalesced, healed schizophrenic that can hold this type of focus and have a singular energy of voice inside themselves at all times, and to not fall into any delusion, and to genuinely be able to be past paranoia, and to simply, like, I haven't gotten there yet, but I believe I can. I know protective space, like I'm getting close to not being paranoid, despite the fact that I have, not really close, I'm taking a path towards being non-paranoid. But the paranoia comes from stress. It comes from not knowing what's gonna be knocking on my door. It comes from not having help and being afraid that I'm gonna be homeless and having a financial situation that is scary, being in a situation where I need help that I can't get because I have executive dysfunction that blocks me from doing the very things I need to do, and I need a human being to help walk me through it kindly, and I haven't been able to find one, and that has created a trauma spiral that locks me in my mind, that is right up top on the right, and it's just like I get stuck in here and I gotta go back. That's why I turn this way when I'm doing this. If you're watching my videos, I turn away from my right brain, my right top brain function, when I'm trying to think about things that I have a mental block over, and it is getting help without someone being my friend and helping me go do it, because I don't have a family member to go into an appointment with me, and my anxiety of going in places that are public and sitting in lobbies and meeting people that might not understand my story and might trigger my dysfunction without a safety person around. It's just purely panic inducing. Last time I tried to drive to a place to get help, I sat in the car for like 4 minutes listening to like a pump up music, because it's like the saddest moment in the history of the world to have to do that, to drive in someplace. I was listening to RGB, dude. I was like, that's my I don't give a fuck. I'm going in to get my tooth looked at. It was the cheesiest thing ever. It helped dissolve it because it was so cheesy and stupid, but that's why it was so sad, is because I was listening to that song and I was like, yeah, I hate everybody. I use this song when I hate everybody and I'm doing something stupid, but I have to. And that's what it felt like, is I had to like tap into the emotionality of how I use that song when I write, which is fuck everything. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go crazy. And my going crazy now is I'm gonna go try and get help without having a panic attack and driving home and freaking out and sending people messages on the way home in my car because I'm freaking out. That was a mistake. I need help from people getting help. And I'm gonna stop lashing out, and I'm gonna stop lashing out financially. I have. I'm just waiting for help now, and it's just a problem. And so anyways, this is the thing. Schizophrenic people have wisdom, but it is in a net of swirly thoughts. And that's going to continue for me because I have an open mind that doesn't work in patterned ways. And that's okay, because when I let myself go around, really cool things come out. And I can pull myself back to know that I'm not right about everything. I'm right about some things, and that's cool. It's take it or leave it. Take it or leave it from myself. Take it or leave it from my subconscious, because my subconscious is riddled with trauma, and that's what's going on with schizophrenic people, is they're in a subconscious overtake of their conscious mind. And many of them don't even know it or don't accept it, and they're living in denial, and it gets really scary how they lash out because they know something. There are no schizophrenic people who are popular, dude. Name a popular schizophrenic person. Why is that not a thing? Because stigmatization has schizophrenia as pure nightmare fuel. And I'm sitting here and I am schizophrenic, and I'm telling you, as soon as I can get into a psychologist and get a psychiatrist and get whatever, I'm gonna get diagnosed so hard when they see my executive dysfunction, like brain farting me to death, and like panicking and needing to breathe and just like being honest about it. It's just obvious. It's just the most obvious thing in the world. And I have worked with psychologists and psychiatrists before, and I've talked about schizophrenia, and I know what's going on. schizophrenic, but I've put it together in a cool way because I didn't listen to everything. I took the things that resonated, and I knew there's something true. And that might scare people when I say that, but I'm telling you, as a schizophrenic person, there's just an awareness that there's something true in the feelings you're having when you're feeling extra heightened sensations. It's because you are knowing that you feel your whole body's energy how you did before, your emotions, your body itself, and it feels muted and underneath, and there's so much more, and it is a projection, right? Your psyche is projecting into like a field of feeling. But dude, you're getting vibed all over the place, and it's just like, so when people who aren't getting vibed like that tell you you're making it all up, that's the problem. Even if I am making it all up from my subconscious, I cannot walk towards truth accepting that. So that tells me that there is something true there, that there is some kind of like esoteric reality to our connection with our universe and each other. And schizophrenic people feel that underneath and on top and in between and in little cracks of all of their traumatic delusion. And when you pull it all back through art therapy and time and rest and friendship, which I haven't even had, but I just know the math on, dude, it's gonna heal me up so fast if I can get a friend, is to be better and to be really smart and to be really sweet and to be like the best snuggler in the world, dude. And to just be like somebody who has absolutely no preconceptions about like, yeah, dude, I wouldn't ever have ownership over a single person again in my life. It's just like, dude, I don't have any ownership. I don't believe in ownership, period. It's just not real. We're all gonna die, dude. Everything's decomposing. We build houses and they rot. It's just like, I'm being a little intense right now, but that's something that's really powerfully true, is everybody's trying to hold on to right now, and it's, right now is changing every second. And we live out of alignment with that truth by pretending we own things. It's a cognitive dissonance. We're like, this is mine, dude. It's like, how much healthier is it to be like, I love this thing, dude. I'm gonna enjoy it while I have it. Like, I sell things that I love. I'm really trying not to sell my favorite speaker because I sold my other speaker and I have one speaker left and it's my favorite Marshall speaker, and I'm just like, please don't make me sell this world for like $100. It's the saddest thing ever. It's like my last favorite toy. And it's what I listen to music on when I'm writing. I just, I would though, and I wouldn't be hurt about it. I'd be like, okay, guess what? I have faith I'll get another one, dude. Guess what? There's a lot of those. I'll get a newer model. Like someday. I sold all my books, all my favorite books. I can't even read right now because I'm so stressed and I need comfy space to relax before I can slow my mind to that level. But that's what I'm saying is I have put together my schizophrenia in a way that is profoundly cool. And it makes me a little different, but it makes me somebody who should have a place in society, but just like, shouldn't be driving a car, dude. I should be able to have friends. I should be able to go out in public and like eat dinner at a place, dude. Nobody's gonna be looking at me funny at all. I mean, except for the fact that I'm a big trans girl, super cute and ugly sexy. That's what's up, but it's cool. If you get over it, dude, it's a cool vibe. If you could just get past the superficiality, you're like, hey, guess what, dude? That's just hot now. I'm just like waiting for somebody to get on my level with that. But the biggest key for this humanitarian organization is that there is an outreach program for mediation, peer mediation, done by people who aren't actively fighting their delusions and disabilities. A protection so these people who are a most traumatized sort are not getting more traumatized constantly. They start having a space away from trauma. They have a room with a television and they can veg out if they want to. And there's a pond and there's trees and a park, and they don't have to do group sessions, but there are things available if they want them. And there's art classes and art supplies and people available to go through your art with you. That's like the only program is like, how do you want to process your art that you're making here? And what art do you want to make? Because we're going to use your art to heal your schizophrenia by talking through it. Because if you don't do videos like this and watch them back, you need an honest person to sit there and talk to you. And it could work this way. You could have people do video journals and watch them back. You could have people do video journals and send them to the people that are helping, and they can watch them and be like, here's my notes, you should watch this, and you should look at this thing you're saying. It seems like you know you're not being honest about this. Because that's what I've done to my own videos. I'm like, oh shit, my body's telling me something through the way my subconscious is speaking through me there. That's not true. And that's how I've walked myself back into non-delusionality. But the other part is that schizophrenic people have wounds that are emotional, that need to be taken very seriously. And people need to be held accountable for like coming and healing and hugging schizophrenic people so they can get better. It's 100% real. There are wounds in my heart that I will never heal. And I think that's true with everybody. That's why I think the things we learn from schizophrenics go to everyone else. But other people can cope. Not in their body. That's why I call things projection, is because I'm saying I need these things as a schizophrenic, and people are like, no, we don't do that in society. We've decided not to do that. And I'm saying, hey, you're saying I don't get that even though I'm schizophrenic because you want that and you don't get it, because we all should have it. And that's why I'm talking about schizophrenics being able to heal people, because my unique set of things I don't get that we all should have, that I'm demanding to get through my trauma, asking for, are different than anybody else's. But with a conglomeration of those ideas from schizophrenics, what you've got is the keys to saving the world for everyone. That's what I believe. And I believe that peer mediation should be available publicly. There should be public-facing peer mediation. So you can just reach out and be like, hey, guess what? Let's circumvent this restraining order, dragging one person to court to not be heard, to cry in the back of the room and panic attack because they're disabled, while the other person doesn't even know how badly they're traumatizing them and is just going off being efficient at destroying them in court. And instead of doing that and then supporting that person without investigating because the judges are going so fast and they don't even know that they're breaking the law, let's facilitate a conversation between two human beings by a mediator. Let's talk to both sides and see where people are at, and let's have them meet in the middle as best we can with people with free will. Let's at least fight for it. That has to happen for schizophrenics. That has to happen for schizophrenics to heal. And people are out there being angry at me because I had a schizophrenic unbecoming and they were layering trauma on me and can't hold the responsibility because I speak of truth. And I'm like, hey, I'm sorry for this. I didn't mean this. That's true though. And that's true though. It can't be held. They're like, did you just try and apologize, but also say that I am a traumatizing person to you? Yeah, dude, my body knows that. That's why I lashed out. I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to say sorry for my part and be like, yo, that's your thing, dude. Where's your part? And people just don't take accountability these days for anything. It's like, no, dude, you're mad at me while I'm here doing this. It's like that meme is the worst meme ever. Like, imagine being mad at me while I'm being a total fucking cunt that only cares about myself. Anyways, I hope you have a good one. Somebody come see me and give me a hug, please.